Alright guys, here it is. I got everything all installed. Did the entire swap on the intake manifold from L83 5.3 to the L86 ported 6.2 liter intake manifold. And they are actually identical, very identical, exactly same dimension, same size. So it is actually a direct fit to the original spot. So I'll have to say the biggest challenge of this job, yes, I understand that in theory and in concept that this is actually a direct bolt on and bolt off job. Yes, I agree with that. And all the bolts are exactly identical. They're all 10 millimeter. But the biggest challenge where I face are all the rear bolts. There are 5 bolts on each side. And the rear 3 bolts on the passenger side are the hardest to get to because of those 2 black holes up there, and the transmission stick is really blocking my hands to going back there. So what I really did, and here's a tip for any of you want to actually do the swap, after you actually got the manifold out, and it's better to take out the cover out as well. Yes, I understand that you can actually wiggle in the new one back in there the way it was after you take the old one out. But what you gonna do about the bolt? Because once you take the bolt out, and it's really, your hands is not gonna fit back there. And even if it did, you're gonna have a hard time, and that's what I faced. To line up the bolt directly back in the bolt hole in order to tighten them up. So what I did is I actually took the cover off as well, and I actually installed the cover onto the manifold first, and bolt the cover, 4 bolts on the cover to the manifold, and I purposely put the rear 3 bolts on each side on top of the cover, and then I line it up directly on top of it, and then just drop it. And after drop it, and I make sure that the first 4 or first 2 cylinder heads line up with the gasket, and then I tighten the first 2 bolts in the front, and that's what I did. Yeah, let me see if I can show you guys, and it'll be easier. So this is what I'm talking about. So after I dropped the manifold, I tightened the only 2 bolts in the front on each side, and just leave it. And then all the rear 3 bolts, since already put on top of it, it's already lined up. And then I suggest you to use a 3-inch extension on the 10 millimeter socket, and then use a wrench and tighten them up just slowly by slowly. And that's what I did. And after that, as you can see, I reconnected all the wire connector. That's the 92 millimeter throttle body. And about the air intake, as I said, I swap out from the 3.5 inch to the 4 inch. So that's actually a 4 inch tube. Bring this closer. So that's actually a 4 inch tube instead of 3.5 inch. As you can see, it is much wider than any of the in stock or already pre-made air intake out there in the market. And I actually changed the filter too. The filter from the I believe it's from 8 inch to 8.5 inch long, so it's a little bit longer. Oh, and about those 2 breathers, as I said, those 2 gray funnels, 2 little gray filter. And as I said, because the tube doesn't have 2 actual open towards the end, so there's no way for me to connect the hose. So instead I did the breathers just like that. And I also have a breather, or you can call this oil filter, on top of the oil cap. And from research, I see a lot of guys doing that, and it's really the point of keeping the oil cool and not overflowing, and get some air in there to even it out, instead of keeping all the pressure in there. Alright, so let me start it up and show you guys how it sounds. I'm very excited. Okay, I'm definitely facing an issue somewhere, and I need to find out.